on the computer. Yay! All right. Thank you guys for jumping on. I am so excited to be with you tonight. And I really kind of hesitated to do this call just because I'm going to be really vulnerable and really transparent about everything. And that can be scary, right? That can be scary. Okay. So really though, I wanted to talk about why I am here and still sharing Plexus 9.5 years later. Okay. So the obvious answer, like the first answer, I already knew. I was like, if people read that, they're going to be like, well, yeah, Jennifer, you're here because you're diamond and you're collecting a diamond paycheck, right? I mean, like that's probably the most commonsensical answer that somebody was thinking, but that's actually not true. Okay. It's great. Yes, I love, Diamond, love the perks that comes. We actually are having a call tomorrow about a new product. I'm assuming that's coming out at convention. I don't really know. So that's fun. Like I love to be like on the know and things like that. That's fun for me. But and of course the paycheck is amazing, right? But there have been a lot of ups and downs on this journey. And so you have people that come and that are, you work together. And so you develop a relationship with these people that you probably, how it is. Like if you're at a job and you see these people every day, you develop a relationship with those people. And then if you leave that job, I mean, you're still friends and you still love them, but maybe you go to a new job and you interact with these people over here and you don't quite, have the same contact with those people. Like it's just life, it's just part of it. But that can be a really hard thing, right? If you have developed these relationships with people, these expectations, these, great moments like memories, and then they decide that they don't want to do Plexus anymore or whatever, whatever. And so that's hard, right? And so I've definitely been in that position, and that's been a hard place to be. And so right now, super transparent. I'm not holding diamond. I've fallen back. I'm definitely holding sapphire, but just not holding diamond. And so then you have the imposter syndrome, right? Like, oh my gosh, you're not really holding your rank. And so there's so many misconceptions with jewel status. People think that the things that they struggle with at senior silver or gold or senior ruby or whatever are going to just disappear at jewel status. And while some things may change, maybe some of your challenges make it easier or whatever, but ultimately, you guys, the challenges and the issues are still there. There's other things to tackle, right? And so these are all things like, and of course, the ebbs and flow of, team momentum, personal momentum, company momentum, all those sorts of things. There's so many hard things, truly, about this business. But there are so many wonderful things about this business, okay? And so I want to just talk a little bit about some of those great things, why I'm still here, and an invitation to you because I am really at a point to, we'll talk about that in a second, but an invitation to you to like, let's lock arms and let's rebuild to diamond again and beyond, right? And I know that you're not like, I'm doing this for you, Jennifer. That's not what I'm saying. Like when you all, what is that? All tides lift together, something about the tides and the ships, and we all rise. I don't know. We all do it together. So that's where my focus is. That's where my brain is. And that's why I really wanted to like put this out there. Like, why are you still here, Jennifer? Because the truth is, I could collect a paycheck and a very nice paycheck for a really long time. Okay. We have senior golds and rubies and senior rubies, you guys. We have senior golds that stopped working their business several years ago and they're still collecting a two to three to $400 paycheck every single month. And they haven't worked in years. Okay. So the residual income part of this business, first of all, is why we build because it's amazing, it's incredible, and we should be thankful for that. Like I was talking to someone the other day, and she was lamenting the fact that she had fallen from senior ruby, back to gold, and I was like, listen, you are collecting an incredible paycheck. She hadn't worked in a while, and I was like, look at the money that you're collecting every single month, and you haven't worked in months. Like that's incredible, right? Where else can you do that? Right? If you go put in 40 hours a week at a job for 5 years, or 3 years or 2 years, whatever, plus we don't even work that much, right? But I'm saying like you're not gonna collect a paycheck 3 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? Like after you quit that job or leave. So residual income is amazing. That's why we do what we do. So I don't have to continue to build. I don't have to, I mean, like y'all, there are diamonds, there are jewels in this company that don't support their team. Okay. They literally are like hands out. They don't have team pages. They don't have team calls. They don't answer questions. They're just like completely done. First of all, that's that. No, like even if I were to like leave Plexus or quit or whatever, I would not like, I would still support the people that I had brought into this organization. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But like, there are people that I want you to know, like, there are people that do that. Okay. So, and you know, if you want to build to Diamond or wherever you want to build to and then collect your paycheck, that's like, that's your prerogative, right? You totally have that. So I really just want to hound in the fact that there are people that are paycheck collectors. And, but so why am I still here? So, first of all, I am still here and I am still building and still like moving forward because God has put me here. Like, I have no doubt that is something that I have prayed about from the beginning. I wouldn't necessarily like, so I was so kind of flippant about the business when I started. I was like, oh, you know, Kristen was like, oh, would you, you know, like, what about the business side? And I'm like, oh, sure. You know, like, okay, whatever. And so it's kind of flippant. Like, so I don't necessarily, I would say that I would really spent a lot of time in the beginning in prayer about it. But after probably silver, in between silver and gold, when I started doing some personal growth, some really hard things, um, then I started like, okay, this is hard. This is out of my comfort zone. Is this really what I need to be doing? And time again, it was so like God just confirmed that over and over and over. And He has still confirmed, like, that is something I want, just like I hold anything else in life. Like, we have to hold things out before the Lord and say, here it is, Lord. Like, you know, yes, this is our primary stream of income right now. Yes, that, you know, we've built to Diamond and my husband is Sapphire. Like, and we have all these amazing people that we work with and we love, but ultimately, like, this is in your hands all the time. And so, praying always. And yes, I mean, I definitely do feel like that this is where the Lord has me. And so, the struggle, okay, here's the struggle for me, and I think probably for a lot of people, is that my lack of belief in, you know, you look to the left and you look to the right. Okay. So I can look at other people living other circumstances, other lives, and I can compare my journey to theirs. Even now, I can compare, oh my goodness, so and so had 1,500 new ambassadors on her team last month. Right. And I can be like, why can't I be like that? Right. So we can compare. Um, so I definitely, you know, don't want to be in that place for sure. Okay, but I lost my train of thought, like totally. Um, okay, so I'm talking about God has put me here. Okay, but the things that we can do, we can compare, right? And then we can also, a big one is let our own lack of discipline and boundaries in our life sabotage us and our mindset and sabotage us in this business. Okay. Like, and we can let the disappointments of this business make us stop or make us walk away. It's true. And, you know, so the first thing, I feel like the first thing we all have to do is say, does God have this for me? Okay. And what God has for you may not look like what God has for the next person, right? He may want you to be a senior gold for a long time or for forever and be happy there. And that's great. Like, then there's learning to be content with what we have, right? I mean, always. And so, or he may have for the next sister, he may have her at diamond level in like 8 months, right? That could be what he has for her. So, like, not comparing, not comparing. So that is like the foundation. Like, does God have me here? And then after that, it's like, okay, if he has me here, I am to be a good steward of this, just like I would be a good steward if I was a Sunday school teacher. Just like I would be a good steward of my home and cooking my kids' meal and serving my husband and, you know, like, and getting my kids to the ballpark on time. Like, I would be a good steward of those things that were handed to me. Right. And so, so if we believe that the Lord has this for us, we have to be a good steward. Like, for some reason, and I'm guilty, like, this is something I've been guilty of. I've given myself a pass. Like, well, you know, and I've just given myself a pass on not being a good steward of this business so many times. And I let my own lack of self-discipline and lack of boundaries creep over into this, and then that kind of causes chaos. And then I want to blame Plexus. I want to say, well, if I didn't have Plexus, everything would be okay. When in reality, that's not true. Because you guys, I'm going to be super transparent. There are days that I don't even work like 10 minutes. Okay. Like all I may do that day is answer messages. And there may be like 3 messages that day, and that's it. Okay. So there are days that I may work 10 minutes. I'm just being really transparent. And like we know why Jeffrey ain't holding diamond, right? It's because of lack of boundaries and lack of self-discipline. But on those days, do you think that my day is perfect and it went the way that I wanted it to? And because I wasn't doing Plexus, that all the things fell into place because it was Plexus's fault? Absolutely not. Right? So we have to recognize like where the problem stops, and usually the buck stops here with us, right? So God's put me here, number one. And so it's up to me to figure out how to be a good steward of this, okay? And so, well, not up to me, but I'm saying like I have to pray. Like that's one thing we have to pray. Pray about, Lord, help me to, steward this business well. Show me where to spend my time. And you show me where to spend my time. We know where to spend our time, but like show me in my day how I can best do this. If that means I have to get up 30 minutes earlier, then I will do it. Okay? Like seriously, I have actually transitioned from a night owl to a morning person, oddly enough, for the most part. Don't really like to talk in the mornings, but I do like to get up and have like a couple hours of quiet time. By quiet time, I mean like reading and then, cooking breakfast and working a little bit, like all of it combined, just in peace and quiet. But so, but like figuring out what it is, like, and doing the things, stewarding it well. Okay. So okay, so we've laid the absolute foundation. The reason I'm still here is God's put me here and He has me here. Okay. Number two, the reason that I am still building is because these products work, plain and simple. Like they work. They literally change people's lives. Okay. I may forget how bad I used to feel. I may forget how my allergies used to be so bad, or my eczema, or my reflux, or whatever, whatever, whatever. But because, because of me, like not maybe remembering or being as excited about the products, like that doesn't mean that they don't work, right? That doesn't mean they're not effective. I can go to Happy and Healthy. I can go to lots of different groups, and I can see stories every single day of people whose lives are being transformed. Absolutely, lives are being transformed. These products work. There are people, just like there were 9 years ago, we were actually praying for, you guys know our story, we were actually praying for a way for Austin to be home with us as a family and like pursue his things and his passions. And so Plexus was an answer to that prayer. I didn't realize it at the time. Okay, so just like Plexus was an answer to that prayer 9 years ago, there are still people praying for the same thing. There are still people praying for answers for their health. There are people praying for these things. And so just like it was true 9 years ago, it's true today. Okay. And so that's why I'm still here, because people need what we have. They really do. Gut health, inflammation, blood sugar. You guys, it's like people's health in America, like it's crazy. People are getting sicker and sicker at younger and younger ages, and people need what we have. And I can bless them with that, right? Okay, number three, this business still works, you guys. Whether or not my paycheck has gone backwards, whether or not my points have gone backwards, whether or not, like, despite all of those things, there are people who are still earning paychecks every single month, who continue to earn paychecks. There are people whose income has exponentially increased. Like that just because we can isolate ourselves and say, well, just because it's happening to me, and so therefore nobody else can have success, or I can't help someone have success. That's often what we do. We want to deflect it back to me. Well, because my points have fallen backwards, surely, I can't get her to Ruby because I'm only senior gold. It's lie buckets. Like we lie to ourselves so many times, right? So this business still works. Network marketing is still amazing. Like if you don't have belief here, go build your belief in network marketing, because it's absolutely the wave of the future. And it's interesting because the more social media is around, like we have all these younger people now that have grown up with social media or so much of their lives. And so it's kind of normal for people to see someone sharing something, right? It's kind of normal. And so I feel like in a lot of ways, it's actually not as much of a stigma to be a network marketing like maybe it was, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. So this is a perfect opportunity. Okay, so these products still work, this business still works. And like, why would I not share that? Okay. Again, this is all with the foundation of God has me here. Um, and then I wrote down there are people who are praying for this, which I already covered that, but I can be a tool and I can be an instrument from the Lord to deliver like answer to prayers, right? I mean, like God works with his people and we can be those hands and feet of Jesus in this regard. Okay. I mean, certainly please don't go away and say Jennifer thinks this is more important than like the gospel or did that's not what I'm saying. But okay, but how okay, and I can't tell you, there are several like missionaries, pastors wives, pastors children, like people in ministry, music, ministers and all that, people in ministry who were sick, who were struggling with their health or who were struggling with their finances, and Plexus was the tool that made them feel better. So how much more impactful do you think they are now that they're feeling amazing, or that they don't have to work, dad doesn't have to work the night shift of pizza delivery because the pastor, doesn't have to do pizza delivery because now his wife is doing Plexus and they have a little bit of extra wiggle room at the end of the week, right? So he doesn't have to do that. He can commit, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like so many times I think what the thing is we just really focus it on us so incredibly much. And if we will just take a step back and say, Lord, use me, like be a funnel through me to be able to bless other people, regardless of my points, regardless of my experience, regardless of all these things. Like help me to grow and be, the person you want me to be, but help me to be an instrument for you in this way. Okay, so I touched on like my fears and my doubts and unwillingness to grow past some of these things, like I said earlier, my lack of self-discipline, my lack of setting boundaries in my business. Those are not Plexus's fault, right? It's my fault. Okay. And so like ignoring the fact, like if I just quit Plexus, like I said, those things are most likely not going to go away. I can look back at so many areas in my life pre-Plexus and I can still see the same struggle. Okay. So it wasn't Plexus's fault, like I would like to sometimes say. Okay. So and the only way to fail is to quit. And I don't know why I wrote that down because it's not really like why I'm still doing it, but I'm not a quitter. I don't want to be a quitter, although I do feel like I quit at a lot of things, but then I get back up on Monday and I try again. So story of my life. But I don't quit motherhood when it's hard. I don't quit marriage when it's hard. I don't quit friendships when they're hard, right? When we run into a bump in the road, for heaven's sake, I don't quit on the Lord. Like I don't just, give up my belief in God just because I have a trial in my life, right? Like that's so why it's so, I don't know. I need to maybe sit and stew on this for a while, but for some reason, it's like people take Plexus and they put it in this little bitty place in their life. And it's like exempt from all of the other areas. It's like this on this little island by itself. And so for some reason we get to treat it differently, even though, we should if it's where God has us, we should treat it just like we would treat anything else, right? Like, okay, Lord, this is a hard season of marriage. I really need you to help me, like open my eyes, point me to some counselors or point me to some books or, a friend or whatever it is that you need to, strengthen your marriage again, like help us work through this. Same thing with your Plexus business. Okay, Lord, this is a really hard time in my Plexus business. My points are going backwards. Steward me, Lord, to a training, to some, maybe I need to do a coaching workshop, like asking the Lord to do those things for you and praying with your, like expectantly for him to answer. Okay. So my invitation to you is, like I said earlier, like I want to rebuild to diamond. Okay, but this is what I want more. Okay, forget that. It's so funny because Austin, like people are like, how much money do you make? Not really like how much money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you must really make a lot of money. Y'all, I really barely even know. Like, I'm just not a paycheck person. Like, really, I'm not. And so I love seeing other people win. I really do. And it's so much fun. So much fun. I had memories pop up where last couple of Marches ago was when, oh my goodness, we had like all those emeralds, and I think Allison went sapphire, and it was just like this whole crazy thing. We had so many like golds and senior golds, rank ups, ruby, senior ruby, and it was just so much fun, and it brought back such a great memory. Like, oh, that was so fun. I remember being at the ballpark, and like literally we were all on Zoom, and everybody was refreshing their screens like for their points and stuff. It was so much fun. And so that I want to rebuild again. I want to get, if you are gold and you're not holding, if you're ruby not holding, senior ruby not holding, like I want to help you get there. I have really felt like I've seen huge gaps in my leadership because I want to be everybody's friend and I want everybody to like me. I don't want anybody to be mad at me. And so for a long time, for all these years, it's been so hard for me to say, okay, like you really need to step it up. Like if you say this is my goal and this is what I want to do, like holding people accountable and like really coaching them, right? And like saying not like mean things, but like saying hard things, okay? And I'm not good with that at all. But it's really it's Kristen, Kristen Love, Abart Love, what my sponsor, she was really good at that. And I and contribute like she was like pivotal in me getting to Emerald because she would just like lay it on the line and be like, you know, like when I was gold and convention was in Phoenix, Arizona, and I didn't know anybody and my team wasn't going, but she was like, if you're going to be a leader, if you're going to do this business, like you need to go. Like she was like bossy about it. And I was like, okay, yes, ma'am. Right. And so, not that I'm going to be bossy, but I'm just saying, like, I have seen holes in my leadership of really helping people to rise to the next level. Okay. And so, I want to get better at that. I want to be a better leader. I want to help people reach their goals. Okay. And so, old ways won't open new doors. Right. And so, I really want to, I'm trying my best to talk about the business more, to lead with the business more. I don't know if you've noticed in Dream Team over the weekend, I put some guides in there that I'm working on. I'm still working on that. I've got a call with my VA tomorrow morning, and we're working on like a text system to where someone could text a number or a code, what word, I don't even know. We're going to find out tomorrow. But they could text it, and then they're going to get a series of texts over 6 days with like action steps and printable sheets and stuff. It's Brittany Howard stuff, y'all. Okay, this stuff is from Brittany Howard. I've struggled for so long. Like, should I sit and recreate all these things? Should I not? Like all this, and I'm just like, and Amanda Nix, she was so funny, y'all. She cracked me up. I was talking to her about it. She said, "Girl, you let that star diamond train our people." Because Brittany Howard and Christina, you guys know they're amazing. And so, right now, I was like, okay, for now, you know, because I can get overwhelmed, like content creation and strategy, like that's not my strong suit. And so, for now, I'm going to be utilizing what she has. And like, that's okay. We all know that she's successful. So hopefully, like, implementing it will help us. But I want to get those systems in place. I want to use those systems. I, you know, always will open new doors. Okay. And so this is one of the things I love. And I don't want to keep you guys forever and too long, but this was a great analogy someone had recently. She said, I've been exercising consistently, you know, 30, 35 minutes a week or a day for, you know, several weeks, months now, whatever. And I've seen tremendous results. Like I don't think about exercising all day long. I don't think about it on the weekend, right? I do my time, and I'm good. Okay. And so, but what she's seen are the effects of that the consistency, the compound effect of that. Okay. So over a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? There's a drastic difference because of that decision to, you know, commit and do the thing. So we were just talking. She's like, why do I treat my Plexus business any different? Like, why? Why? If like 30 minutes a day is literally all you can do, then by golly, do the 30 minutes a day every single day. Okay, and let the consistency compound, because so many people that I've talked to, it's like they want, and I get it, Plexus is fun, like it really is fun, and we really do feel like a lot of times it can be an emergency, right? But it doesn't have to be an emergency. It can still be fun, but we can set those boundaries. We can set those guidelines and say, okay, this is my work time. I'm going to work from 8:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock in the morning, and I am going to be done. Like, I'm going to sit down with this IPA sheet, because at the end of the day, y'all, the IPA sheets are what you have to do to move it forward. Like, if you're just working of scrolling and commenting on people's Facebook feed, like that's not working. Okay. By working, I mean messaging people, posting on social media, following up with people, right? Like the income producing activity part. So, but if you do that every single day and like turn it off, like turn your brain off, okay? And then I don't know, I mean, I do like think about Plexus when I'm doing other, like if I'm scrubbing the toilet or something, like my brain, or in the shower. Like, do y'all think about all the, like, we're going to solve the world's problems in the shower or cleaning toilets? Like, that's when I always have these great ideas in life. Um, I don't mean just Plexus, I mean like for everything. But anyway, so it's not like that you will ever think about Plexus or have a good idea or whatever, but you don't feel like you have to drop everything and, pause and just like put everything on hold because you have to answer this message, or like be a good steward with your time. Set boundaries, be okay with the boundaries, and see what can happen. Like, just let the consistency compound, right? And just keep plugging away. Don't look to the left, don't look to the right, don't look at what she's doing. Just be like, okay, God's given me this, I'm stewarding it well, and 30 minutes a day is what I got, or an hour a day is what I got, right? And then do the thing. And okay, level up in leadership. I already talked about that. I really want to level up my leadership, and I want to help you guys like get to the next level. Okay, so why rebuild? People need Plexus, they need our products, they need our community. You guys, I have so many people who tell me I am still here because of the community, because of Gold Retreat that I get to go on, right? I'm serious. And it's important for people. Like, the community is so important. We have amazing women on our team, amazing women, amazing. Literally, like I literally tell people all the time, I have the best team in Plexus. Like, we really do. And I love our team. So people need Plexus, they need the community, they need this business. So why not me? Why can I, accept the fact that I'm going to put some boundaries on this, some limits on this, and we're going to do the things, and we're going to go. Okay, this business is like no other business. Why rebuild? Because this business is like nothing else. The income potential is literally limitless. Literally limitless. Okay. The sky is the limit. And so why would we not? More money in the hands of God's people, you guys. Our team is predominantly believers, Christian people. We attract Christian people. And so, wow, like it blesses my heart. We have so many diamonds and so many jewels who give, and they share when we're in conversation or whatever, like so many orphanages and, gospel handout, like tracts and preachers and ministries and missionaries and sex trafficking homes and all of the things. Like, there are so many things, y'all, that have been funded through Plexus. Okay. And so, if money is neutral, right? Money is neutral. It's like money is what we do with it. Okay. So I can take a bat and I can hit a baseball with that bat and like play baseball with my son, or I can take that bat and bust a window. I can take that bat and beat someone up with it, right? I mean, there's lots of things I could do with that bat, good or bad. The bat itself is neutral. It's what I do with it that makes it wrong or right. So money's the same way. Money's neutral. Okay. But it's what I do with it, what I focus on with it, that makes it wrong or right. So why? Like, I love the fact of more money in God's kingdom. That is so awesome. Okay. And so also another reason why to be rebuild, because y'all, the things that we learn here, the hard that you push through, the lessons that you learn, you are carrying that into every aspect of your life. Okay. I see it, I hear it, I live it. I carry that into relationships with friends. I carry that into our homeschool groups. I carry that into like church mission, not like ministry things. Like I carry so much, like raising my children, communicating with my husband. So many things have been learned here because of Plexus, because of the personal growth, because of the podcast, because of the pushing, because of the training, because of helping others, right? That is bled over into every aspect of my life. So why? Like, yes, I want to rebuild for that. I want to share that with other people. I want other people to experience that, right? Because the higher, I don't know, the more self-aware that we are, the more conscious we are of like why we're doing what we're doing and how we're responding to people and things like that, the better, like the more that we can be more like Christ and the more that we can be a blessing to others. And so those are things that we've learned here. Okay, and then why rebuild? Because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you reach your goals. And you guys, not everyone wants to be Jewel status, and that's okay. Like, can we, for the love, please normalize being a gold or senior gold and being happy there and maintaining that, right? Like, obviously, if you want to maintain anything, you have to work at it. Like, if I want to maintain my house, I have to work at maintaining my house, right? To sweep the floor, I have to dust, clean the toilets. That's maintenance. Okay. So, but if you want to maintain, I had someone tell me recently, I would like to maintain 200 points. I'm like, okay, awesome. Like, I am here for it. Let's figure out a plan, what that needs to look like for you, and let's do it. Right. So let's normalize that. But I believe in you and I want to help you get to the next level, wherever it is that you want to be. So I just want to pour belief into this business, belief into you tonight, that like you can do the things. So, okay. Anybody have any questions or anything that you want to say or questions you want to ask me or anything? Bueller? Nobody? Okay. So if you were in Golds, the Golds chat, that's one of the things that I talked about today. I sent a voice message in there and I was like, hey, if you were in a place, like, I don't know, like we literally we have a lot of golds, senior golds. You guys may be all like, whatever, we're done. Like that, that, and I've actually had to have that come Jesus moment. Truly. Like, okay, what if you're the only one that like wants to keep, okay, we have our jewels are not, okay, not saying that. But I'm saying like, what if you're the only one who is ready to rock and roll and rebuild? It's like, okay. Like I really had to come to terms with that. Like, okay. Like for all these reasons, God has me here. These products still work. People need them. This business still works. People need it. More money in the hands of God's people. Like all the things that I just talked about, I had to process through all those things and say, if you're the last man standing, will you do it again? And the answer is yes. So there you go. So anyway, okay. Well, if y'all have any questions, then I guess we'll go. But I love you guys, and I'm so thankful. Okay, let me see what Jennifer says. Yes, having to do IPA is easy, but it's worth it. People have to come to the decision themselves if they're going to do this business. Yeah. And I think honestly, I'm really going to be super honest. It's so easy to have a mentality of, or to think that other people's success depends entirely on you. And that's just not true. And I think for so long that so many people like tried to carry other people on their backs that just really weren't quite, And so I think a lot of leaders, and even in Plexus, a lot of leaders are like, I'm looking for the people who are looking for me. I'm looking for the people who realize this is not a lottery ticket. This is not like it's easy in one sense of like what we do, like the actual activity itself is simple, right? But y'all, we said all the time, 80% mindset, 20% skill set, maybe even 90-10. So yeah, I mean, and I think that's the shift that I've kind of had. Like, okay, I want to work with people who are ready, who are coachable, who want to learn, who want to grow, who are willing to do the things, even if they can't do the things 3 hours a day. That's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's really kind of irrelevant to me. But if you just will do the things consistently and understand that consistency is going to get me places, right? Like that's the kind of people that I really want to work with. And that's how I want to like come into my own business as well. So I love this, Jennifer. Amen, sister. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, you guys. Thankful for you. I'm so glad you're on. And if I can help you in any way, just know that I'm here. And let's go. I don't know. Let's go. Okay. All right, guys. Love you. And I will see you soon. All right. Bye.